A couple of years ago, I was working at DTU, Technical University of Denmark, the biggest technical university here, and one thing that I observed, or one thing that I've learned while I was commuting to the university and back, it took me maybe 1 hour in one direction. I was sitting in a bus. I wouldn't put my headphones on because I liked to clear up my mind before and after work when I was coming back, so I would stare through the window, but I would always hear the chatter of people. And these were usually intellectuals, right? Are they students going to university, or professors, PhDs, etc., etc.? And what really triggered me back then is, because I was never really paying too much attention to it, was the subject that people generally around you speak about when you're commuting or when you're doing really anything. And surprisingly, what I've noticed is that in the majority of the cases, these people never really spoke about tasks like the core hard-skilled tasks. Like some of them were chemists, some of them were in medicine, some of them were programmers, but what they mostly spoke about was other people. And when I was kind of when I started growing as a tech lead, as a team lead, was that when I started realizing that really everything that we do every day is about people. People, for example, love going to work because they feel accepted, they feel valued, they feel having fun with their colleagues, right? And vice versa, of course. If it's a terrible place with people that you don't like, then it's obviously the feeling is opposite. And throughout these years, fast forward, maybe 3 years now since I worked at the university, I believe, no, 4 years, I've realized that there's very few discussions about these things. There's very few subjects or open discussion, public discussions about this. Of course, we're all taught some sort of empathy in school, and we're taught to be kind, or we're at least expected to be kind. But I don't think that we actually understand deep enough, well enough, how much we affect other people, like every single day with our actions. And these actions, can be implicit, they can be explicit. It can be actions such as saying nothing in certain circumstances or saying everything. But I think that building this social intelligence, building this empathy is one of the most crucial skills that anyone can build. You can be a programmer, you can be a carpenter, or whatever. I think that it's one of the most fundamental feelings that's going to define feelings of others towards you. And if these people will praise you eventually, be your references, want to work with you, etc., etc. Unfortunately, the biggest problem that I see still whatsoever is that people are not really willing to chip in with good energy, positive energy. Like, I see a lot of complaints as always, like this manager this manager this is toxic, this is toxic, that is toxic. But these types of people are never actually giving an example of kindness, right? So for example, I've heard many of you also on Twitch complaining about your work, and but then I ask, well, what are you doing, to make your workspace better? Like, what did you do lately at your work besides your hard tasks, core tasks, right? To make the environment better, let's say less toxic, or more fun, or more engaging. Like, so how are you carrying yourself relative to others to make things better, right? And I actually do that a lot. I try at work to my literal mantra is, if I'm not in a mood for whatever reason, we're human, right? We have feelings. I'll much rather stay at home and work from home, or just put headphones on and chat, or I'm gonna make people around me feel better, energize them, make them laugh, say a nice thing, give a compliment when people are doing well. And I don't know, I just felt that it just came to my mind. I was thinking a little bit about my previous experiences, about my past, and I realized when I started observing people more, when I started genuinely trying to understand people, and actually when you work as a tech lead, as a team lead, when you work as any sort of person that really is easy to approach, you hear a lot of things, and then you realize that people are genuinely troubled. Like, every single person that you meet every day at work, regardless of the mask that they put on, has some problem. They carry some weight, they carry some, it can be a depression or a sadness or some illness in their family, or anxiety or whatever. And try to develop this. Try to at least be triggered by what I just said, in case you're still watching this video. because I genuinely am telling you that these are most definitely the most important skills that define how easy you are to work with, and how much people will appreciate you as a person, and then as a future friend. And the only thing really we all need to do is just be wary of this. Be wary of the fact that people are fragile, right? And people are affected by people way more than they're affected by codes and frameworks and languages and deadlines, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, this is my tip. What is your experience? Have you had any thoughts like this yourself? Like, what is genuinely your feeling about how you act towards others, and then what is your feelings about how others act towards you? And how do you feel about it? And have you ever even thought about this? And if this is something that troubles you. Anyway, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, guys. This is a short one. I'll see you later. Bye bye.